I'm in charge of just to let you know the pre-music, and so if you have any ideas or thoughts, I'd love to hear them. I'm your DJ, your guest DJ tonight. So anyway, no, we hope you enjoyed that. It's fun. We love that show too. Loved your comments out there. So let's get started tonight and take it away.
All right. Hey, everybody. I don't know if Larry introduced us, but we are Larry and Dee Corchin. Really glad that you guys are with us tonight. And we're going to talk about the 90-day challenge that's coming. Raise your hands if you're excited about this opportunity. Yes, there it is. We came up with the idea. We wanted to get it out. So that's why I put it in our group on Saturday, but wanted to talk about it today. And then you guys can start marketing, as soon as you are ready. So I want to just spend a little bit of time talking about what is this? How does it work? How do you invite people? And have a story for you, and then want to open it up to your questions, because I think that is most important, that you guys have clarity on what this is about and why we are doing it. So we've done challenges before, and if you're an existing coach, you probably have been a part of that with us before. It's a great way for us to connect with people, with potential new clients, with existing clients, regroup, get a group of people going and moving forward. So we were tossing around ideas what to do for the end of the year, and Meg Johnson came up with the great idea of the 90 days. And if you look at any of the big gurus, the Tony Robbins, Rachel Hollis, all of them, there is just something in the power of the last 90 days of the year. So think about this as you're talking to your candidates that might be interested in doing this, or clients. They're doing this with you. There's something about the change in seasons, and there's something about bringing 2019 to a close, that if we made a commitment, 90 days, 3 months, that great things can happen. And Meg gave the example of, how long it took her to make a decision to become a client. But then once she did, she lost about 35 pounds in 90 days. That's how fast it can go when we make a decision. So we have a lot of clients that we know might be struggling. We have people that are interested in our programs. So this is a great way for us to just launch out an opportunity for them to connect with us, reset that goal, and move forward.
Yeah, and 90 days, we all know habits, right? Our habits are formed within actually 66 days. So again, 90 days is a perfect time for folks to, again, start new habits, and we know how important our habits of health are.
Absolutely. So what we're doing, we're actually going to launch this with an October 1st date, just because it kind of makes sense, the beginning of a month. So that's going to be next Tuesday. So if you have current clients, inactive clients, or potential clients that want to be a part of this, we do encourage you to connect with them and get their orders in as quickly as possible. We know there's been some delays. We know there's some things going on. We know the company is working on that. But just know that somebody can join this, and we'll talk about the fact they don't even have to be a client, but somebody can join this and get going with us and just start eating every 2 to 3 hours. We can tell them protein, vegetables, and they can just get started going with us with the various action steps each day, and then just get started once their program arrives. If you have questions as I'm going through this, feel free to either unmute, or if you hover over your picture, there's a place you can raise your hand. So we can't see everybody, but if something's coming up right now you want clarity on, go ahead and ask me about that, or Larry, because I don't want to just blow through it. All right, just so you know, there is a procedure document that is in the file section of, okay, great question about how we present to people not on plan. There is a procedure document that is in the file section that is going to give you all the details. So I'm not going to go through it line by line, but I really want to give you the highlights. So basically what this is that if somebody joins the 90-day challenge, and this is going to apply whether they're a client or not a client, and I'll explain the non-clients, basically they're going to do a couple of things. They're going to connect with you, and they're going to set a 90-day goal. So where do they want to be on December 31st, 2019. So work with them to make sure that's a reasonable, achievable goal. So that's number one, they're going to set a goal. So I love the way, I was watching a video by Rachel Hollis, and I love the way she talked about how do you get to 90 days? And she said, one day at a time, right? One day at a time, committing to like 5 particular actions. And these are no different than our habits of health. So I'll share what those are. But the great thing is that when we do these in community and we do them together, that, is it realistic that somebody is probably going to be 100% for 90 days straight? Maybe not. They might falter a day or two, but when they're working in a group like this and with us and with those guardrails of support around them, they're much more likely to pick up and keep going. And they'll have you there as their guide. So where most people this time of year, October, start to check out with their health and go into that mentality of, hey, I'll just deal with it later, we're going to help people gain momentum and finish the year strong. So the couple of things, so they're going to join that, we're going to put them in our Facebook group. If they are a client, we're going to order their program, make sure they have sufficient fuel lanes, go over their plan with them, what they're doing. Most will be doing 5 and 1 if they are a client. But the 5 things that they are going to commit to, and we've got a principal checklist that they can print off, is they're going to commit to every day to a strong start. And a strong start means they're going to get up, they're going to check our Facebook group, and we're going to have a daily post or an inspiration or a video every day for 90 days that will be posted at 7 a.m. So we've got quite a few team members that have agreed that they're going to partner with us on this. Excited, you're going to have a variety of voices sharing over those 90 days with our team and with your clients. The second thing is that they're going to commit to drinking their water, or so drinking 64 ounces minimum or half their body weight in water a day. Just a basic habits of health. They'll check that off. They're going to commit to their eating plan. We'll talk about what that looks like. They're going to commit to some sort of activity or movement. So it can be going to the gym, parking further away, just something where they're intentionally moving each day. And then ending the day, we kind of toyed with this and decided it could be up to them how they want to close their day. If they struggle in the area of sleep, they can choose sleep and choose a consistent bedtime and amount of hours of sleep that they're going to strive for, or they can choose gratitude. We know there's a lot of power in ending our day with gratitude and jotting down and journaling over these 90 days what they're grateful for and what they're observing in themselves. So 5 things that they can do each week, and then that'll be a great way for you to connect with them each week about how are you doing with your 5 daily commitments. Questions around that? I will come back to the non-clients. Wow, I love it. Everybody gets it. All right, so what do we do? So what we decided was that it would make a lot of sense that we didn't want to exclude anybody that did not want to become a client, that maybe they're just not ready yet. Maybe they don't have the resources. Maybe they're just not ready yet. But there could be power in us letting them into our Facebook group, letting them experience our community, let them experience the commitments, let them experience our weekly Habits of Health webinar. They can have access to our Habits of Health app and connection with you. And it's very, very possible that they may choose to become a client during this journey or afterwards because of what they're going to see and experience. Now, what they can do, what I recommend is that anybody who's interested in this, that you do a full health assessment with them. Just have the conversation, just, tell me about yourself. What do you, where are you with your health? Where would you like to be? All those questions that we ask. And then ask the question about, share about the program. Say, hey, well, I'd love to share with you what we have to offer. And then if they choose not to, say, well, I would recommend that you adopt our healthy eating habits of eating every 2 to 3 hours. There's just a lot of science behind it. But if you want to follow your own eating plan, that is fine, right? I'm going to pause here because Beth Bilton actually came to us through a similar challenge where she was able to join as a not a client yet. So Beth, if you just take a little time and share with us what that looked like and what your journey has been.
Oh, what happened? Am I?
Yeah, you're there.
Oh, okay. My screen disappeared for some reason. Yes, it's about almost 4 years ago now. I saw you on Facebook, and you had posted something about a health challenge, and I was interested. I am a lifetime member with another program, and you said you didn't have to be part of your program. I didn't know exactly what it was that you did, but I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go back to Weight Watchers and do my own thing, and follow the program. And the first week, I gained a pound. Like, okay, this is not working. So you were doing good. You called me, once a week, or I think the first week we talked a couple times, and then you called me after the first week to see how I was doing. And I said, well, I've gained a pound. I said, why don't you tell me more about your program? And of course you did. And I said, well, sign me up. And then I got started on that. So I guess, so week 2 was just on my own again and then I got my program by week 3. I think it was a 6-week challenge at the time. So by the 4 weeks that I had done it, I think I had lost 7 or 8 pounds right off in those first 4 weeks. The last 4 weeks of the challenge. So I came into it not wanting or not knowing anything about it, and not really wanting to jump into it. But once I heard about it and realized how fantastic it was, I knew it was for me.
That is great. And the story, and then you went on to lose how much, Beth? And then at what point did you decide to become a health coach?
Well, I said I wanted to lose 10 to 12 pounds. I ended up losing 23 pounds. And for me, my cholesterol went down. It dropped 75 points. So that was my main why at the time. So my doctor wanted me to go on medicine. And it'll be 3.5 years that I have kept my weight off. And I became a coach. See, I started in May and I became a coach in July. So not too much, a few months after that.
So awesome. Now an executive director, leader on our team. So isn't that awesome, you guys, that we can let somebody, come to this in our community, and you don't know, they might be your next, health coach or leader or become a client, or they may not, but they may hopefully become a raving fan. And they'll have a better appreciation for who we are, what we do. Beth, did it have any influence on you when you saw, we had a little bit different platform we were using at that time, but did it have any influence on you when you saw other people posting what results they were getting when they were on program?
It was a different platform, but you had to earn points and do all this sort of thing. So it was, like I said, a little bit different, but people did post about their weight loss success. And I was like, well, wait a minute, I gained weight. So that's when I definitely reached out to you. So
Good. Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing that. And so that's a great example. Lauren, I'll get to you. And I know that Lisa has a question as well. It's a great example of what can happen when we open our doors and just let somebody into our world. And I want to let you guys know that we are really, really looking at this, and that probably after this challenge or whatever, that, if you have situations where people are interested in they're interested, they talk to you, but they're not ready to sign up yet, you can drop them into our Facebook group to say, hey, I'd like to drop you in, let you just take a look at what's there. And very often people get in and they see the difference. We'll monitor it, and you guys help us if you see anything or negativity, but I've done that for several people, been kind of piloting it, and it's really worked in our favor. So, all right, Lisa Bloom, you've asked the question about the commitments. I updated the procedure document today and updated a revision into the file section. So the 5 commitments are in there. And we also have a checklist that is printable that you can share with your clients. And it's a great way for them just to be able to track themselves, to check off. Because really the goal is that we want them to have more days than not, that they're consistent. And if they can get a visual and check it off, they'll have a better appreciation for where they're going. The question, does that go for the coaches page as well? Yes, yes, Chris. If you had a potential coach that might be interested, you could add them in as well into the coach group or onto one of these calls as well. Lauren, you raised your hand. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, I posted about the 90-day challenge yesterday and had a great response on Instagram. And one of the people who responded is already, she just said she just ordered her box, but she's under obviously another team, and was wondering if it's possible for her to be in on the challenge. So I just wanted to know what our response should be for that.
We would rather not do that because it's going to be crossing lines. That's called crossing lines. And I didn't mean to make a big X, but I mean but it's crossing lines. And I mean, while we do everything in alignment with the company, we want them to use their support team and their support groups for support. So we would have to decline on that.
Okay. So just turn them back to their coach and see if there's something in their team that they could be a part of. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. Yeah.
Good question.
Great idea, Carol. If you'll help us enforce the no buying, selling, or trading on our page for the fuelings, one of the reasons we primarily don't do that, one is for third-party liability. We just don't want any potential responsibility if anything was wrong with the fuelings. The second thing is we know our program is so far beyond the food. Right? The fuelings is what, 25% of what we offer. And if we start to get a news feed that's just clogged with, or, people buying and selling foods, it becomes much more like eBay or something like that than what we really want that to be in terms of support. So that's just something we have chosen not to allow. And I follow the top leaders. I'm actually in several of the top leaders groups, and they don't allow it either. So that's why we adopted that same philosophy. So great point, especially if there's non-clients in there. So there will be a flyer available. Some people like to have a printed flyer. Do you want to speak just for a second about that?
Sure. I put together a flyer. I used Canva. That was probably the easiest way to kind of put it together and kind of have it look a lot like what we've done in the past. A nice image out there and some information regarding the challenge for people that want to specifically have something printed out. Again, I think everybody, like Lauren just mentioned, she posted it on Instagram and she's got a good response. So for those folks that want to be able to print something, it's a 2-pager. You don't have to use both pages. I kind of set it up so the one page has kind of most of the information, and the second page has more details like goals and what you're looking for as far as taking care of your health. So if you're interested in that, please just send me an email, and hopefully if you don't have a Canva account, you could go out there. That's for free. Just open up a Canva account, and then I could drop or give you access to that document. When I give you access, you can go in there and put in your contact information. So that's why we're doing it that way, so you can nicely put in your information and have it available for you. So again, that's primarily, again, if you're going to do it and you want a hard copy flyer. So, all right.
So a couple of things I put in the post about today, what you would learn tonight is, how you can use this to acquire clients, how you could use it to re-engage clients, and then how you could potentially receive referrals and potential health coaches from this. So to start it all off, the number one thing I would say most importantly is we encourage you to participate yourself, to set your own 90-day goal, print your own checklist, your own 90-day checklist, and commit to it. Because we know that when we are fully engaged and we are excited about our own health and we know where we're going, that energy that you put out and that you radiate when you're talking about this to other people, I'm telling you, I heard a statistic on this. I think Lisa and I were talking about it, that when you're talking and communicating with somebody, 93% of it that they hear is your energy, your tone, and your enthusiasm. And only 7% is the words themselves. So real important for you, I would encourage you to be engaged. Personally, I'm gonna have a new in-body analysis done, body fat analysis, and set a new goal in that arena for myself. So encourage you to take a look at your own health. So that's the number one thing. The second thing is for potential new clients. We know for a fact that direct invitations, which direct invitations can be via the phone, via a text, via a private message, that a direct invitation like, like, hey, Katie, I was thinking about you, have this 90-day challenge coming up, wondering if you might want to be a part of it. I've been doing that. I went through my private message and sent it to everybody I've had correspondence with. Did a phone call to everybody I've had a health assessment with. Those sorts of direct contacts will get you the best results. If you putting it on social media is great, and I highly encourage it. But remember, that's just a layering technique. When somebody described it to me one time, I thought about it with social media. They said, we got to be careful that we're not just using social media to throw out a big net and hope that somebody jumps in it. That we actually want to be making that direct personable contact with somebody and why that they would be important. But the layering helps, the reinforcement of it. Today I sent an email to all of my candidates, people I had on my candidate list that I use for sending the weekly newsletter, and also sent it to all of my clients as well as an opportunity to really laser focus on their goal and or re-engage. In the candidate list, we had 5 people respond already that they want more information about it. So encourage you to do that as quickly as possible, and especially as in the event that they become a client. So that's how you can potentially increase clients. For your existing clients and your inactive clients, I encourage you to talk to them, like your ones you're in contact with, talk to them about it this week. Talk to them about it this week, what it could mean for them. We know some of them are rocking and rolling towards their goals, but we know a lot of our clients are wishy-washy, right? So this could be a real great opportunity for them to get laser focused. Meg was talking about it. She said, imagine if somebody just got laser focused and reached their goal by year end and didn't have to start 2020 with a weight loss goal, right? Or a health goal, that they could actually, do what they set out this year intending to do. And again, an email or a direct reach out to those inactive clients. And I would really pay attention to people that come to your mind. Inactive clients or people on your heart, those people, reach out to them. They come to you for a reason. So definitely take the time to reach out to them.
Yeah, if I could add, I love wishy-washy. So again, if you have clients out there that have friends that have been on the fence and kind of watching them, it's a great time to also, again, share with your clients who they can bring along as far as the program. Because again, they can get into the challenge for free, and then again, hopefully see more about what we're about.
Yeah, 100%. That's how you can get have more people get healthy, through potential referrals, and or maybe a new health coach become of this. So what I'm talking to my clients about is, hey, let's invite some people. Who in your world? Would your office want to do this? Maybe your ladies group, maybe your Bible study group. Who might want to do this with you? If they bring you a referral, I told my clients, if that person signs up to be on program, I'll give you my referral fee like I normally do. If they don't want to be on program, no problem. They can go in the group. But if they want to be a client, you better bet your bottom dollar I'm going to talk to that client about becoming their health coach, because it's the perfect opportunity. So this could be a perfect opportunity for somebody. So reach out to those people you've been talking to about coaching and ask them who's been on their heart about getting healthy, who would be somebody they would want to help get healthy. And let's see if we can maybe move that along as well. All right, so Betsy. Betsy's asking the question in the chat, do we have a connection in the invite for the Facebook event, or just send the info in the message? If you go to the actual Facebook invite, there's an option to share. And it gives you an option to share as a post. It gives you an option to share in Messenger. So what I do is I share in Messenger and add a personal message. Hey, Larry, was thinking about you. Wondering if this might be a good time for you to move forward. Do you want to answer about the flyer?
Yeah, Carol brought a question up. Can we post a flyer in the Coaches Up for Change group? The information that's out there is pretty much the same exact information that's in the flyer. The downside is you can't customize it within, by posting it out in the coaches page. The way things are set up, especially with pictures and, Canva kind of locks things down on you. You can't do that. So there's only certain tools that you can actually customize in. So that's why we
if you want to add your contact
right.
info.
So if you want to add your contact info. So again, the information we provided in social media and what you have out there now is almost identical. There's a couple words that are a little different. There's one page that has a little bit more explanation, but that's about it. So take a look at it, and we can take it offline. Just contact me, and I'll see what I can do to help you. So, and I got more messages. Hold on. I'm driving. Okay, and should they use both the challenge tracker and the HOH app, non-clients?
Yeah, so we have an option. I mean, the one thing that we could do is I want to encourage also your non-clients, and your clients, encourage them to participate in the Habits of Health webinar every week. And then they can also, I'm pretty sure they can utilize our app even without becoming a client. I'm pretty sure, which I kind of like that idea, because it would ask them to be eating every 2 to 3 hours, right? Which might be different from the eating plan. So the tracker, I mean, the tracker is just a really great tool, and or the app. I would say either or, but I don't think that the app is going to have all the same 5 things.
Yeah, they're broken out detail, correct.
It's going to be different. So my advice would be possibly to use both with it. So. Okay, Katie, so great question on the non-clients. You know, we're not going to be coaching them as specifically, but what I would do is I would be touching base, especially the first few weeks of the challenge. I would give those people a call, and just, I would like to do it by phone just so they hear your voice, just to say, hey, I just want to make sure, are you making the progress you want? Questions, what can I help you with? I would keep that call short, you know, like a 2 to 3 minute one. But I would connect with them, let them get a little exposure into our world and coaching. And again, that's how Beth asked me about becoming a client, was through that verbal connection.
Okay, we're getting some more questions on the app. We'll double check, and we'll make sure to see if you can get into it for free. But again, I thought you can. I think I did. But anyway, so we'll double check, and we'll post that out there for you.
We'll double check on that.
Okay.
I think we hit the highlights. Yeah, so I wanted to let you know, I just saw the title. So we have Dr. A's call at 8 p.m. And then at 8:30, we have the field-led training, and it's going to be by Corey Baker, and it's called Rethinking Rejection. So I thought that would be a really good one to be a part of. So yeah, so Larry, I know that you had a quick close for us.
Yeah, just guys, we're at the end of the month, so we've been doing great. I know everybody's been hustling out there, but I also know there's been some challenges with deliveries and service from that standpoint. I know we've posted some information and updates out there. Please, a couple things. This is actually good news, bad news, right? It's a hassle when we get involved in service items and it slows down our day, or it may upset a client. So that's a hassle. The good news is what's happening is OptiV is growing, and we're going through some growing pains as a result of that. So because of the technology, because of just the capacity in the warehouses to be able to handle all the volume, and those that were at a convention, we saw all the people out there and all the coaches. So it's a good problem, and the company is tackling it. So we just encourage you to keep pushing through those items. Encourage your clients also to not wait until the last minute. Okay, so that's an important thing. Again, we're up against month end. You know, if you're talking to people tomorrow, tell them to get their orders in, and don't wait on it until the very end of the month. And again, these items will get better over time. But again, expanded capacity in Maryland, expanded capacity out on the West Coast now, and they're getting their acting gear. So again, it happens. I'm sure, I know I've been through that in my past, in my prior career. But again, things are looking up. So hang in there, and appreciate you for that. So.
All right, yeah, I think we're good. I see one more question there. We'll close out. Lauren, you asked about prizes. We're going to do it a little bit differently. Maybe do some spontaneous drawings and prizes throughout the challenge, but we're not going to do like a biggest loser type of prize at the end. So usually that doesn't affect participation one way or the other. So. All right, guys, we'll let you get on over to Dr. Anderson's call. Thanks for being on. Any questions about this, reach out, post on our Facebook group, and let's get a lot more people healthy. Thanks, you guys.
Love you guys. Take care.